We start at 5 with the weather, and although things were quiet today, that will not be the case tomorrow.
There is an increasing threat for severe weather here in West Michigan, so we want to get right to Chief Meteorologist George Lessons with details.
We always look for whether the trends are increasing or decreasing when it comes to severe weather, and the threat for severe weather is increasing during the afternoon tomorrow. We were upgraded earlier today to an enhanced risk for severe weather. That's up to a 3 out of 5. Yesterday it was a category 2. I thought they might upgrade us to a 3 during the day yesterday, and what that means for the potential severe weather risks, and this will be mainly from noon tomorrow through 8 p.m. There is a high risk for damaging winds in that orange area, and also a high risk for some flooding. That's not considered a severe weather hazard, but nonetheless, there will be flooding going on. And there's also a medium risk for a couple of isolated tornadoes and also large hail. And those are the risks expected here during the afternoon tomorrow. There'll be 2 rounds. One will be coming through mainly in the noon to about 3 p.m. timeline, and then more stronger storms are expected after that, and those will push over into southeastern lower Michigan during the evening. We'll have a complete timeline on when the storms will be here and what you can do to prepare in just a little bit later on. Well, the risk for severe weather has been ramping up for tomorrow, but we've also had to deal with poor air quality in the meantime. We'll talk about that before we get to those threats. 13 weather ball is green. No change to the very warm and now more humid weather pattern foreseen, and it's blinking bright. We have showers and thunderstorms on tap, especially later tomorrow afternoon.
The 13 Weather Ball is sponsored by LaFontaine Lincoln Grand Rapids.
And you can see it in the air, all that haze. I don't even think it's a blue sky. It's kind of a milky bluish sky up and down the coastline and inland. That's because we have unhealthy air quality. That is in the red. At least that's going to clear on out later on tomorrow. But in the meantime, we still have the smoke and haze overhead, and we are looking at the smoke and haze sticking around for at least a little while. Perhaps they'll put me back on camera here. And in terms of our weather, we're looking at that clearing on out later on tonight, and we will see better conditions from the haze and a little bit from the humidity as the week goes on. In terms of our active weather, we have that enhanced risk for severe weather with an increase from a 2 to a 3. It makes me very concerned. We have a higher risk for damaging winds. That's that outlined area there, and not a 0, but a low to moderate risk for a tornado tomorrow or 2, and a low to moderate risk for hail as well. We also have the threat of some flooding. We're in that slight risk for flooding here in West Michigan because of how juicy the air will be. We're watching these storms back to the west. They're going to be developing later on tonight. Here they come through Minnesota. They're going to reform after the morning sunrise tomorrow, and they'll get quite strong, especially from the mid-afternoon area region, and then into the evening after about 9 or 10 o'clock. The threat will have pushed off to the south and east, so just be weather aware during the afternoon. And then clearing skies and sunshine and hot weather continues through at least Friday. Very humid conditions next couple of days, as dew points will be flirting with 70 all the way through Friday. We do get a break over the weekend, but as we get into the first few days of August, we'll see those dew points climb back up into the 60s to near 70. So lots of summer weather, even though we've got that strong front going on through. Eventually, we will cool off as we get into the last days of July and the first 4 days of August. Near average temperatures expected, which are in the low 80s. And in terms of precipitation, most of the wet weather will be out here out west, which they could use for the wildfire season, and in the northeastern U.S. Out on Lake Michigan tonight, you can expect waves to start to build to around 1 to maybe as high as 2 footers, but it should be a clear evening other than the haze. Winds will be due south across the area. So for tonight, partly cloudy, clear skies early and then becoming mostly cloudy. Upper 60s to around 70 with a light south wind early on. Up north into the mid 60s for your overnight lows. You're going to have to deal with that smoke and haze again, and a dry night here in the greater Grand Rapids area. Mid and upper 60s for overnight lows. 13 on your side forecast. We've highlighted Wednesday with that orange color because we're in that enhanced risk area. Very humid and hazy, not quite as humid on Thursday as we get hot again, 90 to 92 now through Friday. We'll see the humidity leave us Saturday morning. Next week, into the low 80s, there is a chance of a thunderstorm next Tuesday night and Wednesday. But the main thing is we'll just have to stay weather aware here tomorrow afternoon, guys.
Yeah, I know, George, we've had rain coming tomorrow, but we had a great weekend. My parents were here from Texas. They could not stop talking about how perfect the weather was.
Oh, good.
That's the way we like to have our relatives over.
Awesome. Thank you, George.
It looks hazier now from our tower cams than it did when I was out in the yard earlier this afternoon. It was really nice.
Yeah, it sure does. It was a nice day out. It did get a little hazier, and it looks like tomorrow we're definitely going to want to keep track of the weather, and that's why we have Chief Meteorologist George Lessons here to look ahead. George.
Yeah, Charlie Ticker and I were talking earlier this afternoon. He left his little canopy tent out with the last round of storms. Yeah, there was no more canopy tent.
Oh, boy.
So he's going to bring his new one in tonight. So that's what I suggest
Good advice.
our viewers do as well. As we got some strong storms on the horizon, certainly a high likelihood here tomorrow. 13 weather ball is blinking bright because of the afternoon and early evening thunderstorms in sight. It's also green, no change to the heat and humidity foreseen.
The 13 Weather Ball is sponsored by LaFontaine Lincoln Grand Rapids.
Yeah, still some haze in the air. We're suggesting that Heidi to give Lola a break. She looks like she could use a break. She's got that look on her face like, yeah, do I need to go out for a walk in this heat and humidity and haze? Going to give you the green paw conditionally, both this evening and tomorrow morning. It'll be tomorrow afternoon that you'll have to watch out and be weather aware. 8.5 out of a 10-point scale again tomorrow to generate green energy from the sun. Winds will still be fairly light here during the day tomorrow as well. We'll update that, of course, later on tomorrow as well. Still have that air quality alert for this afternoon and this evening because we have unhealthy air quality. It's not so bad out here on the weather deck. It's when it gets up into that very unhealthy that we would probably stay inside. But stay inside if you've got COPD or asthma. It's going to be a little bit better here in the moderate category, but we're going to be shifting our attention to some strong storms. After this smoke and haze moves on out tomorrow afternoon, that's the last we'll have to deal with it all the way through the weekend. We are upgraded from a Category 2 to a Category 3 for risk for severe weather. That is called the enhanced category, and this is damaging winds. This area right here in red is where the highest chance for strong damaging winds are going to be. Up a category for a possible tornado as well, and also large hail. Just stay weather aware throughout the day tomorrow, and also the possibility of flooding. We're in that slight risk for flooding over much of West Michigan to the east. Hour by hour, we don't have much going on right now. It should be a clear evening, but then some clouds will roll in towards daybreak. Here's the line of storms we're going to be tracking. It looks like the first line of storms will come through between about noon and 3 o'clock. Some of those will be just on the strong side, and then we'll have a line of possible severe weather coming through late afternoon through early evening, and that will plow all the way through the Detroit area by later on in the evening. So again, just stay weather aware. After all of those storms move on out, as we get into Coast Guard week, August 2nd through 8th, we have cooler than average temperatures expected. Average highs are right around 82, so I'm thinking around 80 or so. Equal chance for more or less rainfall than usual during that 1 week period. Water temperatures today inching up another degree or two, low 70s in most areas, but tonight you can expect clear skies this evening, some high clouds coming in late. We'll still have to deal with the smoke and haze, upper 60s to around 70. Northern zones as well, mid 60s for your overnight lows, clear skies with the haze and smoke, and here in the greater Grand Rapids area we'll drop into the mid and upper 60s. 13 on your side forecast. We've highlighted Wednesday with the orange enhanced active weather day with showers and thunderstorms, possibly in 2 rounds. Dry on Thursday, but hot and humid. 90, 92 now on Friday and very humid. We'll lose the humidity Saturday morning. Nice weekend ahead. Next week, we'll have a chance of a storm Tuesday afternoon through the following Wednesday morning.
As we've heard throughout the evening, we are bracing for those potentially strong storms tomorrow.
Chief Meteorologist George Lessons outside on the weather deck with the very latest as you are tracking these storms.
Yeah, the potential is there. They haven't developed yet, so we're just getting the timeline down at the present time. And it'll all depend on what happens with the first round that comes through. 13 weather ball tonight is blinking bright for those afternoon and evening storms tomorrow night. It's also green, no change to the heat and humidity foreseen.
The 13 Weather Ball is sponsored by LaFontaine Lincoln Grand Rapids.
Highs today so far are in the mid 80s, above our average high of 83. We have the potential to go up a few more degrees yet this evening. We thought it would get to 88, but I'm thinking because of all of the smoke and haze in the air, that kept our temperatures down just a little bit. Nonetheless, we were on target. We have had only 2 misses here in the last 31 days. Storm system that is going to bring our showers and storms are way back to the west. There'll be more developing later on this evening, and the initial round will come through during the morning tomorrow. But tomorrow we have that enhanced risk. The risk has been increasing the last couple of days. Now we're in a category 3 out of 5. Yesterday we were a 2. We've jumped up a category for damaging winds, mainly from about US 10 southward. Highest risk for tornadoes will be about I-96 southward, along with a higher than usual risk for large hail. So all of these weather elements are into play, as well as some heavy downpours. We're in the slight risk for at least some heavy downpours and perhaps a little bit of flooding. Scattered showers and storms well off to our north and east. Overnight, we'll see some high clouds coming in from dissipating showers over in Wisconsin. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. You're going to wake up and say, hey, it's another hazy, warm, and humid day. But by noon into the afternoon, we'll see showers and storms. Most likely, these will not be severe, but they're starting to pop in through here. This is right around 4 o'clock, and there'll be more as they head to the east and into the evening hours. There's a line of severe weather coming on through, and that'll push over toward Detroit by the end of the day. As we go into Thursday, skies will become sunny, and it'll be a hot day with high humidity as well. Maybe not quite as high as it will be during the day tomorrow. Weekend looking at least a little bit better. Dew points, always a big story when it gets up to around 70 or so. That's very uncomfortable weather. We do get a break over the weekend starting Saturday afternoon, but the humidity's back with us Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week as we get into the month of August. And with that sunshine and the heat and humidity, heat index values will be 90 plus here the next 3 days. So be sure to take it easy as you stay weather aware. Now out on Lake Michigan, you can see the showers and thunderstorms, especially from late morning into the afternoon, and then they'll get stronger toward the evening before they all come to an end. Waves will be building to around 2 to 4 feet. Showers and thunderstorms then from noon onwards. The best risk for severe weather will be from Muskegon southward, upper 80s there, low and mid 80s north. Northern zones, you're going to see those showers and storms. Thinking at least from Big Rapids and Greenville south and east, you'll have a higher risk for severe weather in the afternoon. Here in the greater Grand Rapids area, this is the enhanced risk area for severe weather during the afternoon and evening tomorrow. Mid and upper 80s to perhaps even near 90 around Battle Creek. 13 on your side forecast. So we've highlighted Wednesday with that orange color from the enhanced risk, because that's a pay attention day. 90 and humid Thursday, very humid Friday, and 92 with another round of storms that will end Friday night. It'll be a little bit less humid by Saturday afternoon, and next week low in mid 80s. One final chance of an overnight and early morning shower or a thunderstorm Tuesday night and Wednesday.